The theorem on the conjugate zeros of a polynomial states that if z is equal to a plus bi is a complex zero of a polynomial with degree n greater than 1, then the conjugate z bar equals a minus bi is also a zero of f of x with b not equal to 0. Ang sinasabi lang nito, kung yung isang number ay complex zero ng isang polynomial, automatically, yung conjugate niya is also a zero of that polynomial. So for example, find a polynomial of degree 4 with real coefficients and zeros 3 minus I and 2i. So isulat muna natin yung mga zeros natin. X equals 3 minus I and x equals 2i. Based on the theorem of conjugate zeros, sinasabi niya na yung conjugate ng 3 minus I is also a zero of the function. So that is 3 plus I. Also, the conjugate of 2i is also a zero of that. So we have negative 2i. Since degree 4 yung hinahanap natin, maximum na factors niya ay 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So ano yung mga factors natin? We have x minus 3 minus I equals 0. Then we also have x minus 2i equals 0. Dito naman, we have x minus 3 plus I equals 0. And x plus 2i equals 0. Since alam na natin yung apat na factors, then we can now find the polynomial which is x minus 2i times x plus 2i times x minus 3 minus I times x minus 3 plus I. Or kapag minultiply natin to, we now have, okay, so we have x squared plus 2xi, then we have negative 2xi minus 4i squared. Okay? Multiplied to, so we have x squared times negative 3 plus I x. Then we also have negative 3 minus I x. Okay? Then plus, or yes, plus, we have 3 minus I, 3 plus I. We know that I squared equals square root of negative 1 squared. So that is negative 1. So we now have x squared. Ito magka-cancel out. Minus 4 times negative 1. So magiging plus 4. Times, so we have x squared minus 3x minus ix minus 3x plus ix plus, okay, this is now 9 minus I squared. So, ano magka-cancel out? Ito and ito. So, we now have x squared plus 4 times x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus, what is I squared again? We have negative 1. So, finally, f of x now is x squared plus 4 times x squared minus 6x plus 10. So, kapag further simplify pa natin yan, that is x raised to 4 minus 6x cubed plus 14x squared minus 24x plus 40. Next example, let f of x be equal to x raised to 5 plus 3x raised to 4 plus 2x cubed minus x squared minus 3x minus 2. express it as a product of linear and quadratic polynomial with real coefficients which are irreducible over R, and B, linear polynomials. So, hanapin daw natin yung mga factors niya. Una, yung mga linear and quadratic na irreducible na. And pangalawa, puro linear silang lahat. Okay? So, to do that, gamitan natin ng synthetic division for A. Okay? So, we have 1, 3, 2, negative 1, negative 3, negative 2. So, ano yung mga possible na divisors? Titignan natin itong last term. So, we have negative 2, positive 2, negative 1, and 1. Let's say, ang kukunin natin is negative 2. So, we have 1, negative 2, 1, negative 2, 0, 0, negative 1, 2, negative 1, then 2, 0. Since ang remainder natin ay 0, ibig sabihin, pwede yung negative 2. Okay? Next, negative 1 na lang. Ituloy natin. So, negative 1 and 1 na lang ang possible. Let's say negative 1. So, we have 1, negative 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, negative 1, positive 1, 0. Since the remainder is 0, ibig sabihin, pwede. 0 niya si negative 1. Then, ituloy natin. Again. Try naman natin yung 1. 1, 1. So, we have 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So, the remainder is 0. So, pwede din si 1. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? This means, x is equal to negative 2. So, factor si x minus 2 equals 0. Eto naman, x equals negative 1. So, factor si x plus 1 equals 0. And ito naman is x equals 1. So, factor si x minus 1. Okay? At ano yung naiwan dito? Okay? Yung given kanina ay raised to 5. So, nakailang minus na tayo? Raised to 4, raised to 3, raised to 2 na to. So, x squared, x raised to 1, x raised to 0. So, we have x squared plus x plus 1. Observe that this is now irreducible. Ibig sabihin, wala na siyang factors. Okay? So, ano-ano yung mga factors na hinahanap sa A? We have x minus 2 times x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x squared plus x plus 1. So, eto yung sagot doon sa letter A. How about letter B? Sa letter B naman daw, dapat lahat linear. Okay? Pero sabi natin kanina, paano magiging linear to? Di ba, irreducible na nga siya. Ibig sabihin, wala na siyang factors. Yes, wala siyang factors na real numbers. Pero meron siyang factors na imaginary. At yun yung kailangan nating hanapin for B. Okay? By the quadratic formula, ano ba yung quadratic formula? We have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Ano ang a natin? 1. Ano ang b natin? 1. Ano ang c natin? 1. So, by the quadratic formula, x now equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1 over 2 times 1. Or we now have negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 minus 4 over 2. Or that is now equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 over 2. So, ano yung isa? We have negative 1 half plus square root of negative 3 over 2. At yung pangalawa naman, we have negative 1 half minus square root of negative 3 over 2. Or that is, in terms of I, negative 1 half plus square root of 3 over 2i and negative 1 half minus square root of 3 over 2i. Ibig sabihin, eto yung zeros nitong part na to. Ito lang, okay? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, ano-ano yung mga factors natin ngayon? We now have x minus 2 times x minus 1 times x plus 1 times eto. Ano ba yan? Okay, we have x plus 1 half minus square root of 3 over 2i times yung pangalawa, x plus 1 half plus square root of 3 over 2i. So, eto yung sagot sa letter B. Note that every polynomial function can be expressed as a product of linear and quadratic polynomials such that the quadratic factors are irreducible over R. Ang sinasabi lang niya dito, every polynomial daw, pwede natin siyang gawing factors ng linear at saka quadratic. For as long as yung quadratic natin ay wala na siyang ibang factors.